The moment I was born, my parents kicked me out of the nest. They even wanted me dead, and in the end, they tossed me into the world's most dangerous monster dungeon to fend for myself. All because my brother and I were a once-in-a-century double yolk egg. I thought being born like that meant I started at the top, but I was wrong. Among dragons, each clutch only raises one son. The weaker hatchling gets eaten, that's just the law of nature. My parents didn't go that far and make a meal out of me, but they did hand me another road to death. They even dressed it up like it was all for my brother's sake. After thinking it over all night, they dumped me straight into a deadly dungeon. High-level monsters rule this place, and my still immature blood is basically a premium delicacy to them. So yeah, Mom and Dad weren't worried at all about me coming back for revenge someday. And honestly, they were right. My combat power here was a flat 0. At that point, even staying alive felt impossible. I managed to hide with my tiny body and avoid the high-level monsters. But after going so long without food or water, my life was slowly slipping away. Then, just when I was starving and desperately looking for anything I could eat, a faint sour milk smell suddenly drifted through the dark cave. It smelled sharp, kind of sour, and honestly a little funky. But my baby dragon instincts told me one thing. That was food. And only a dragon's nose could even pick up that kind of scent. At that point, I didn't care about the danger anymore. After crawling through a few tunnels, I finally found where the smell was coming from. It was a round cave, and right in the sunken center there was a dragon curled up about 60 feet long. Not just any dragon either, it was a level 28 subspecies earth dragon, the kind that could kill me with one sneeze. And near the source of that smell, I saw 3 or 4 earth dragon hatchlings about my size, all huddled around their mother's milk, sucking it down. Earth dragons don't count as true dragons, but they do have dragon blood. And more importantly, as a hatchling myself, I could drink the milk of this subspecies earth dragon too. Using the shadows, I carefully made my way toward the dragon's lower belly. And when I saw those 4 hatchlings up close, I couldn't help but freeze for a second. Thank God. Maybe because they had only just been born, none of them had opened their eyes yet. So I probably didn't have to worry about getting caught for freeloading. Once I made sure the earth dragon hadn't noticed me, I couldn't fight the hunger anymore. I latched onto the milk and started gulping it down. The sleeping earth dragon instantly got confused. She was probably thinking, which kid is this? Who's sucking this hard? But hey, a baby with a big appetite is a good thing, right? A mother's instincts kept her from interrupting her babies while they ate, so she didn't even open her eyes. As all that milk went down my throat, my body, which had been turning cold, started filling with a strange warmth. And my level just kept going up. Maybe it was because I had just escaped death, or maybe it was because the earth dragon's body was just that warm, but the second my nerves relaxed, my head drooped, and I passed right out. I don't know how long I was out, but a sharp pain in the back of my neck suddenly yanked me awake. Then right in front of me, a giant vertical pupil, bigger than my whole body, filled my entire vision. Looking into that earth dragon's nearly fire-spitting eyes, the only thing I could do was pray she'd chew fast, so dying wouldn't hurt quite as much. I curled up my limbs, shut my eyes, and surrendered to fate. But after waiting forever, death never came. When I opened my eyes, the earth dragon wasn't even looking at me anymore. At some point, she had already turned her head. The 4 baby earth dragons were nursing, then looking over at me. And suddenly, the look in her eyes got complicated. First it was anger, then it turned into sympathy, and after that, a kind of helpless resignation. In the end, she closed her eyes, let out a sigh, and gently set me back down with the other babies. I was completely stunned. Then I looked again, and the earth dragon was done paying attention to me. She just laid back down and started snoring. The baby earth dragons, who had just opened their eyes, seemed to be welcoming their new brother. They ran circles around me, sniffing and licking